the Mississippi State Bulldogs taking on the Washington State Cougars. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. Washington State ready to kick off as it's time to get things started. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. So Mississippi State's offense will get the football first. And it was a rough showing last week, and it all started with the quarterback, Jesse.
Yeah, he looked lost in that last game out. I thought the defense did a really good job of confusing him, mixing up their looks and their pressure. So no different today. The defense obviously watched the film, and they're going to come out and they're going to try to do the exact same thing and get this guy rattled. So this quarterback, he has to know what to expect early in this one, David.
If I'm his offensive coordinator, I want to get it started off on the right foot, man. Get the ground game going. Make it easy, because last week was such a disaster. We want to turn the page. We need some confidence. We need some good mojo. First drive, we need something good to happen early so we can forget about that last week.
And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. Got his man quickly. Breaks into the open. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down. And the Bulldogs have this offense rolling. Looking to the big tight end. Working the big fella downfield and outside.
Man, I tell you what, these big-bodied tight ends that can catch the football in the corner routes, it doesn't have to be a perfect throw. You know, usually you got littler guys, it's hard. You got to put the ball more on the money, but this big dude can just go up and get.
Deep shot for the end zone. Touchdown, Mississippi State. Snagged in the end zone to give them 6. Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. Well, that score leaves you with a burning question. Who had that dude? Whoever it was wasn't close.
No, and the receiver was able to run right by him and get to the end zone and camp out and put up his tent and build the fire and fill up the coffee pot and just about everything else in time before the guy decided to even get remotely close to him.
Tight end now in motion. Out of the shoot, quick toss to the right. And they'll spot it at the 45. That's good enough for a first down.
Not wasting any time. You just watch the opponent go down on their first drive and score a touchdown. So right away, you're aggressive. You're throwing the football on your first play of the game, and you're getting a nice completion. Really nice job.
And he might be known for run fits, but that was a sure and heavy tackle on the tight end. Let's step back here and chat a little Washington State. Recruiting starting to pick up a little bit for them, Jesse. I'm sure you saw they got a 3-star quarterback last week. And for a program like this, that can be a great building block.
That was a massive win for them. There were so many bigger programs after this guy, and yet he ended up here. And because of that, he is now a key building block, not just for this offense, but for the team moving forward. Lots of people very excited. And a lot of people expect to win right now just because of how good this 3-star QB is.
Rides the back on the option, the give. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Washington State going quickly.
Defense came into this one knowing they were going to see some tempo. They've got to get the call from the sidelines, get it communicated, get lined up.
There he goes. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Washington State.
Really nice job working the route and getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. The Mississippi State offense headed back to the field to go to work. Fires to the wideout. And they can't connect, but the flag flies, and I think this is going to be pass interference.
Pass interference, defense.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referee's caught it.
The give out of the gun. Got the first down and still on his feet. They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chains. Good work up front to get that first down on the ground, and now they'll go back to work. After the pickup of 9, it's 2nd and 1. The Bulldogs with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. From the gun, the running back has it. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. And they won't make the connection, looking to make a big play there.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls. Against this receiver and his speed, he's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the time.
Oh, he's got some space. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down. Mississippi State to the line with a fresh set of downs. They'll ride the hot hand. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Defense is about seeing it and pulling the trigger, and you can tell they pull the trigger so fast, get to the back, get him on the ground quickly.
Last play didn't go well. It leaves him with 2nd and 11. Leaves it with the back. How about that run as he drives it all the way down to the 13-yard line? And the Bulldogs are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Snap from the gun on 3rd down. And he's got it! Touchdown, Bulldogs!
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing into the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now in game.
The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. The Cougars will hustle to the line.
Nice job by this defense creating that negative play. That's what all defenses want to do. But look at this. This offense, they ain't scared. Right back on the ball, ready to run another play, ready to make this defense work.
Here's the snap, looking to throw. Setting up the screen. And works it to the 40-yard line. That'll be a first down. They get to the line quickly.
And the offense showing off this short passing game, moving the sticks. Nice job, and look at them. They're right on the football, ready to capitalize on this momentum.
Looking downfield on first down. Quickly complete. At the 45 on its way. He'll go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39.
And after that long completion for the first down, did you see everybody sprinting to the line of scrimmage offensively? They want to go tempo right now.
Wants to go up top on first down. Fires to the middle. Wide open downfield. He was working his way toward that goal line. They'll stop him at the 2 after they play up top.
Well, this offense is showing you it doesn't take a lot of time for them to generate explosive plays through the air. Big completion on the previous play. They take another shot and hit it, and they have completely flipped the field.
And just a great job by the defense being stout, right? That's your job. Be stout up front, stuff in the run play, make them get in more passing situations, but do not let them run the football. That's 101. Stop the run first.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. The give to the fullback. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Cougars. Extra point here will tie the game.
Nice job on 3rd and goal. You know what's coming. I know what's coming. The physicality, the offensive line doing a great job. And the fullback gets the handoff right up the gut, takes it downhill, uses his power, and falls into the end zone for the touchdown.
All tied up and just about set to kick it away. From inside the 10, here he comes. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll be able to get off one more play before quarter's end. Looking to throw on 1st down. Got it in the middle, it's Traore. He's brought down quickly, minimal gain there, still a bit short of the 1st down. While we're only through one, these quarterbacks have been lighting up their stat lines. We've got a good one going here and looking forward to keep those vibes rolling here in the second. So 2nd down here as we're back at it after the break. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the 1st down.
You got to have short area quickness. That running back there doing what it takes to make sure he got that 1st down.
Now on 1st and 10 from the 29. To the air on 1st down. That's caught. It's Maryland. Turning it on. He's into plus territory, knocked out of bounds after the nice game. Mark it at the 47. Mississippi State comes out after picking up the 1st down. Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a 1st down.
Wow, 4 plays on this drive by the offense. They already got 3 1st downs. We knew they had a lot of playmakers coming into this game, and they're showing that right now. This defense is going to have to make a play at some point here and stop the bleeding.
That defense is about getting off the football. And when that defensive line can be disruptive, get in the backfield right away, and mess up those pullers actions on those counter plays, it can be really advantageous for the defense. Great job by the defense being hyperactive.
They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down marker. It's a makeable field goal from the 29-yard line. Let's see how aggressive they are on 3rd and long. It's complete to the left. The chains will move, and they'll have 1st and 10 from inside the red zone at the 18. 3rd down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
Yeah, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmys and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
Now inside the 20, 1st and 10 from the 18. Unloads it left. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
I know one of the things this defense really prides themselves on is being physical, and early in this game, putting a big hit on a guy that's already had a couple catches in this game, that's a good omen for the defense.
This time on target. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. They'll try to run for it. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Bulldogs! You know what? Methuselah lived 969 years. He was born and died in the amount of time it took them to walk it down the field and score that touchdown.
And that's just so frustrating. Play after play after play. You line up, you try to do your assignment, and you fail, and they cap it off with a touchdown? Oh, Methuselah.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Wazoo offense onto the field again. They'll try to answer that last score with one of their own. A chance here to tie the game with a touchdown drive. to throw on first down. Fires complete on the crosser. They've got him down at the 40 after he ripped off 15 yards. Washington State lines up quickly.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and you give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush that. You got to get lined up, and you got to communicate.
Got out of trouble and throws. Makes the catch. He snagged it, but he'll be stopped short of the first down. Good, solid pickup on that play. Motion from the wideout. Second down, they'll go to the air. Punts it out of the air. He's brought down, but he's got enough to give Wazoo a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs.
Do you hear me?
Use the play fake, now to throw.
Man, he got some shit going on, bro. He got to figure that out.
And that's why play action is going to be big in this game. You saw how it just freezed the second level.
So that's nigga hero some shit.
For a second, and allowed the tight end to work himself vertically down the field.
You don't know what way it's moving?
Right?
Do it, driving.
Hard to bring down. What a weapon.
And this offense gets nothing done on that play, but look at them. They're continuing to run this tempo. They want to try to do something to get a spark going to create a big play.
And they did not let him get to that first down line. It'll bring up a call here. So the offense is going to go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And it's picked off right at the goal line. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his second of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
Might be calling a hot route. From his end zone, looking to throw. Got to take care of the ball. Quickly out to the tight end. He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it, and they're short of the first down. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they'll talk it over to see if they can build on this lead before halftime. Plenty of work to do here on second and long. Looking to fire. That's caught. It's Maryland. Breaks into the open. They make the stop, but not before they do their work up top and pick up a first down.
Well, when you're running the drag route against man coverage like that, as a quarterback, you've got to put the ball out in front of your target. And when you do that, you give the guy a chance to then advance the football up the field, pick up a first down like they did right there.
From their own 18-yard line, it's first down. Looking to throw on first down. Fires to the tight end. No chance to run, but they still move it forward.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on first down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
To the air on second down. It's caught. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
This offense is clicking, and clearly everything is working. The offensive coordinator's calling good plays. The quarterback and his unit is executing. And this defense right now, they have no answers.
The Bulldogs with the 1st and 10. Makes the grab. It's Maryland.
You know, the beautiful thing about being a quarterback is you can throw a little drag route, and they can take it 60. When you got fast playmakers on the outside that you can get the ball in their hands really quickly, great things can happen. 1-yard passes can turn into 60. It's beautiful to be quarterback.
Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line.
You got to be impressed by what you've seen by this offense so far in this game. In the first half, they've got a nice lead, and they've been able to do it with explosive plays, but they've also been able to do it with efficiency and getting first downs and staying on the field. And you saw another great example right there running the football. Anything they want to do right now is working.
Pass interference. Defense.
They decline the penalty for pass interference, and they'll stand on the results of the play. The offense comes back out with a new set of downs after the penalty. Looking downfield on first down. Throws to the wideout. Catch in the middle, it's Traore. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
And that's good enough for a first down.
Use the play fake, now to throw. He wants it all. Intercepted to stop the threat. Taking it the other way.
And you wonder if that interception is going to bring this guy back down to reality a little bit. He was lights out early in this game. Everything he was throwing was right on the money, and that might have been a decision where he got a little bit greedy, and David, the defense made him pay.
And this defense has seen it time and time. They've been throwing the football, having success. Nice job adjusting, breaking on the football, making a play. They needed to break serve. They needed something to happen to go their way to kind of mess this guy's rhythm up. That might be the start of it.
Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. They're looking for an advantage in the running game to the right. Good, solid, determined run there. They'll mark him down at the 27. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Thanks, fellas. Looks like you've had a very enjoyable day there today in Pullman. And it's clear, the aerial attacks of both teams have been relentless. They've been burning each of these secondaries like toast. Just an assault on the defensive game plans, if there even were defensive game plans. Gotta think, fellas, based on the first two quarters, we're going to see every route in the route tree again in this second half. And with that, let's send it back to the fellas on the Palouse at Morton Stadium.
Thanks for that breakdown, Kevin. Mississippi State will put a foot to it to crank up the second half. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Washington State has it back, and they'll send the offense onto the field. Tight game as we start the third quarter, and we'll see what type of adjustments they made at halftime.
And getting the ball first here, I think, is such a big deal. Like, I get the first chance to make a statement, to make the adjustments, to create some momentum for my squad right here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think it's so important for this offense to set the tone here early in the second half, to get a nice drive going, build that confidence, and get your defense ready to come on out, get a stop, and change the complexity of this game.
So many playmakers, so much speed in college football, so many big plays after the catch. Not on this instance. The defense did a great job reacting to the throw, getting there in a hurry, and making sure he didn't get any yards after that catch.
Rush is on him. Right on the money. At the 40, there he goes. Really nice job there to pick up the first down and get it to their own 41. And the Cougars want to move quickly.
Nice job by the quarterback, seeing the receiver come open, getting him the football, making the first down, and they like to do this. When they make a first down, they want to go fast. They want to crank up the tempo.
Stop just across the 50 at the 49-yard line. It's a pickup of 10 and a first down. Wants to go up top on first down. Finding open areas. They'll pick up 4, second and 6 coming. No huddle here for the offense. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Finds the tight end. Breaks the tackle. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. The Cougars come to the line with a fresh set of downs.
Well, the defense makes the tackle. They give up the first down. They've now got to communicate the next play call. They can't substitute because the offense is going fast.
Working that left side now. And that first defender was just waving at him after that sweet move. He picked up the first down.
All right, defense, you got to turn the page. You just gave up an explosive play through the air, but here comes the offense going quickly. You got to get lined up now and get ready for another one.
Now the connection takes it to the 11. It's first down from the 11. To the ground with the back. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Wazoo! That trip to the end zone is 25th career touchdown.
Yeah, he's been productive, just has a nose for the end zone. This dude's made big play after big play for his offenses, and that's 25 touchdowns, Palmer, on the ground for the big fella.
Pretty impressive, too, when you consider when you get close to that end zone, the defense is expecting run, they're loading the box, and still this guy has been able to find his way in. 25, it's a nice number.
He'll start the return inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Going to the ground. Shakes off the defender.
Man, a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle, but how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
Those are the best run defenses, too, right? It's not just D linemen and linebackers getting all the plays, but it's DBs that are willing to not just cover, but tackle backs in the open field.
Yeah, and tight ends aren't just line up and block guys anymore. These guys are athletes. You line them up all over the field, and nowadays you even start to feature them more and more in the passing game.
Oh, they're after him. Lets it fly. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Well, it was a good throw. It was a good route, but it was the hit that forced that incompletion.
Got a good one going here. All tied up in the third. It's 2nd and 10. Off play action. Unloads to the right. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was knocked loose, and third down is coming.
Hey, man, if you're going to force incompletions when the QB's thrown to the tight end, you better be physical. Nice job with the hit, forcing that incompletion.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Unloads to the wideout. Working on the right. He gets it to the 38-yard line, and they'll pick up a fresh set of downs.
There's a reason third down is called the money down. What a great find by the quarterback. Great job finding his receiver. At the end of the game, you look at third down percentages. It tells a huge story, and it goes a long way in deciding who wins a football game.
Finds his big tight end. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
Kind of like that big, reliable security blanket. And that's what tight ends are a lot of the times. They're just usually big, huge guys that if I throw it anywhere near him, he's going to pluck it, catch it, and give me some positive yards.
Got his man downfield. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down. Last completion moved the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. Slithers into space. He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there.
You know, you talk so much about QBs, right? And having to make really good decisions. There's a great example. He didn't see anybody open downfield. He didn't hesitate for 1 second. He put his head down, and he took off and went running and generated an explosive play for the offense.
Man, you put those slot receivers in there, and here's why you do it. You back them off the football a lot of times, but who's guarding them? A lot of times those are linebackers. Those are safeties. You get the...
Picked off to stop the threat.
And this guy's showing off his hands again, understanding where the football's going. He breaks on the football so quick. And guess what? He makes plays when he breaks on it. That's 2 interceptions here through 3/4 of a football game.
Finds just a bit of room. He'll pick up a couple to the 11. Washington State going quickly.
And that wasn't a big game, but look at the offense. Right back on the ball, ready to call a play, ready to go fast.
They'll run play action. Fires to the right. How about a little rhythm that you can tap your toe to on that throw and catch for the first down? This offense is like running a perfection drill in practice against air. Chunk play after chunk play, and here they come again. They'll give it to the back. They just blew through that offensive line. It's a 4-yard loss. The Cougars trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Back to pass. He finds a soft spot in the middle. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker. And the Cougars come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. To the ground to try to move the chains. They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense. The offense in its own end still needing a couple of yards for the first down, but they'll stay out there and go for it on 4th. Looks as if that'll be enough to give Washington State a first down.
I know there's a lot of play callers that would try to throw the football there on 4th and 2, but they decided to run it. That was a great call. First down.
Looking to throw on first down. Under fire. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
That defender is a matchup nightmare for any offensive lineman to block. He's got athleticism, he's got length, he's got flexibility. He put it all on display on that sack.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. Got it in the middle. It's Austin. There to make the tackle, and with that, we'll head to the 4th quarter. They fought tooth and nail through 3, and it is all locked up as we take a look at the stats. Can't wait to see how this 4th quarter is going to go and see who can come out on top in this barn burner. After swapping into the field, they gave him a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on 3rd down. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Finds his tight end. How about this backer in pass coverage and bringing the big hit stick with him, too? Washington State sends the punt team onto the field. Finally sending out a punter in this one. Got to make sure they earn their letter. He'll field the punt and look for room. They're able to put a stop to that return right at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Mississippi State offense, ready to attack. That last drive was a punch in the gut, throwing the pick in the red zone, Jesse.
Yeah, and it just seemed like there was some miscommunication down there in the red zone. David, this drive, the QB
there he goes. They make the stop, but the sweet throwing catch is plenty to give them a first down. One big play to get it up near midfield. Now they're in business at the 47. Here's the handoff. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. He wants to change this route. Off the play fake. Trying to beat the D deep. And this will be picked off. A costly turnover in a tie game. Finally brought down, but what a play, not only to get the football, but to flip the field position with the return. To the air on first down. Makes the grab on the left. And he broke one tackle on the way to a solid pickup there. The Cougars are in the hurry up. The modest gain on the completion really shows why you want to run the zone. Make them execute and rally to the ball.
100%. Zone eyes on the quarterback. I see him throw the football, break on it, go make tackles, live to fight another down.
They'll start this one from the 29 on first down.
And the defense gives up the first down. And here they go. They're going fast. No time to substitute. Got to communicate quickly and get back on the line of scrimmage.
Trying to hit him with a quick game on first down, and nothing doing there. The Cougars have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. Not a whole lot of room as he gets a couple inside the 30 to the 29.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it.
Fires deep toward the end zone. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. And now on 4th down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. And this one is perfect. And after the field goal, guys, they are back on top. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
2 teams inside the Big 12 squaring off today, and it's now a final. Here's a quick recap. Colorado found a way to rescue victory from the jaws of defeat. A prime example of just how strong this program is. All about stacking wins there in Boulder. Fun one in the Big 12, man. They generally are, as the teams there continue to jockey for bowl position.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. He'll try to do it himself. He goes out of bounds after a solid gain on the play. And the Bulldogs can really attack on this 2nd and short. Sends it back in motion. The give to the tailback. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
All right, nothing flashy there. He just did what it took to get the 1st down.
Finally, some signs of life from this offense, which has done nothing in the 2nd half. It's 1st and 10. Fires to the wideout. Complete to the left. They'll get it to the 48. No need to measure. It's a 1st down. Mississippi State to the line with a fresh set of downs. They'll run it from the gun. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Got stuffed on 1st down. It's 2nd and 10. Wants to go up top. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete.
The defense was obviously ready for that play. They've obviously been watching film. They know that that pass play is one of the bread and butter plays this offense has, so nice job defending it.
Throws to the wideout. Caught over the middle. It's Traore. And a big-time grab there. Knocked down immediately, but not before he gets it to the 40. 1st down here for the offense. Runs through a tackle. They get him on the ground at the 33, but not before he picks up 6. The Bulldogs in a good spot here with 2nd and short.
And winning 1st downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't...
Oh, he's got some space. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a 1st down.
I love the play call by the offense here running the ball. The score is what it is right now. You don't have to panic. You don't have to throw it every single down. You don't have to go up tempo. Just run your stuff. Be balanced. Run the football. Make sure this defense stays honest.
They're down to the 20, 1st and 10. Leaves it with the back. Brought down after keeping those powerful legs moving, getting all he could. He'll be a few inches short.
All right, you're at a point in the game now where you've got to go. You need to get down the field and score points. I'm all for running the football, but in this part of the field, you now got to start kicking it into overdrive, start taking some shots and gaining up some yards.
Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down.
Let's go, let's go.
From the shotgun, the inside give. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a 1st down.
I love the play call running the football here in the 4th quarter because with the score what it is right now, everything is at your disposal on offense. You are not panicking. This isn't throw every single down, all of a sudden 2-minute air raid type stuff. You can run the ball. You can do all of your stuff, personnel, shifting, motioning. You just got to be very, very careful and absolutely cannot turn it over.
They'll try to pound their way in. Touchdown, Mississippi State. And in the They've taken the lead.
Really good execution by this offense late in the game, under a minute, score to take the lead. It's what you draw up, it's what you dream about. But now, my defense has to go on the field and get me one more stop.
He'll take a knee. It's a touchback save every second he can as they try to put together this final drive. Here comes the Wazoo offense onto the field again. And they're going to have to fight this defense, and they're also up against it with time, Jesse.
Yeah, no doubt, Reese. And this quarterback now, he's going to have to show off his poise, David. They practice these late-game situations, but how's this guy going to respond?
And I got a little bit of time to work with here, so I watch the defense, and if they're going to drop back and play real conservative like they tend to do late in the game, let's get a few shots over the middle first before we have to take that deep shot.
The hurry up now, second down, clock ticking. Timeout called by the defense, 29 seconds to go.
Timeout, Mississippi State.
They've got to move quickly here. Still a chance, but they've got to force the ball down the field. Wants to pass, the clock an enemy. Unloads to the wideout. It's complete. Timeout called by the offense, 24 seconds left on the clock.
And they've trusted him to throw the football all game. I expect nothing to change whatsoever. They're going to put it on his back, or his arm, I guess you could say, and let him throw this team to victory. It's a close game, tight game. I'm rolling with my best player.
Fires to the wideout. It's caught. Great job in this 2-minute drill as he gets out of bounds, keeping the clock on their side as they're trying to pull it out. Washington State going back to work on first down. He knew exactly what they needed there, made the play, and got out of bounds to stop the clock.
And you got to keep this turbo mode on, right? We got to keep going fast. The clock's running down, fourth quarter. Need a score. Great execution to get the first down. We need a lot more of this on this drive.
Timeout is called by the offense. They have 14 seconds left. And the Cougars with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Looking to fire. Snagged out of the air. They get the timeout called. 11 seconds remaining to play. Now on first down from the 28. Wants to throw on first down. Lets it fly deep downfield. Touchdown, Washington State. And with that, they move out front here in the fourth.
Man, what a great job by this offense executing down the field, using all of the clock, being smart, getting the big score late, and I think that one should do it.
That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. They'll put this one in play first snap of the drive from the 25. Looking to throw on first down. He's taking a deep shot late in the game. And it's his fourth interception of the game. Got room on the return. The 40. At the 30. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Cougars! This defense making a big play and putting it in the end zone. Well, points weren't the issue, guys, but they couldn't string together enough stops to get the victory.
Yeah, good news, bad news scenario, I guess. Good news is you're going to score. This offense looks like they can be explosive and they can light up the scoreboard. Bad news, though, David, they've got a lot to clean up on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and welcome to college football nowadays, right? This is how it works, a ton of points. Defenses learn as you go, but you got to get better. You got to force some turnovers, create those negative plays. Just can't give up so many points.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation.